Hey everybody, Peter Zeihan here, coming to you from Colorado. Special edition today, January 3rd, because the United States has launched a special forces attack into Caracas, the capital of Venezuela, where it has captured the president there, a guy by the name of Nicolas Maduro, and brought him back to the States to face charges for any number of things. He's been under indictment here since 2020, I believe. Anyway, he's obviously not going home anytime soon. The question is, what's next? Number one, in Venezuela, when it comes to continuity of government, there really isn't one. Maduro is a former bus driver who was selected by his predecessor, Hugo Chavez, who was a relatively incompetent manager, to be his successor because he was the perfect yes man. And Maduro has really done nothing intelligent since he became president almost like a decade ago now. And so he's really driven the country into the ground, at one point causing such a horrible famine that the average Venezuelan lost over 20 pounds in a year. It's not that bad today, but it's still really bad. Also, upwards, based on whose numbers you're using, somewhere between 1/4 and 1/3 of the population has fled because the situation was so bad. It has stabilized in the last couple of years, but again, still pretty ugly. Anyway, because Maduro has all the political inclinations and instincts of, to be perfectly blunt, a bus driver, he has no clear successor. He doesn't have anyone who is really competent around him. And so while there are a number of people that are central to the regime that are in the cabinet, like the defense minister, for example, there's really no clear personality or capability or skill set to take over the country right now. Nor is the United States at the moment sending troops in. Donald Trump has personally said that the United States is now in charge of security and politics in Venezuela for the time being, but there's absolutely no sign that the United States has put any boots on the ground in Caracas, with the exception of the Delta Force strike that has already left. Venezuela has over 20 million people in the country. It imports 80% of its food because of the mismanagement of the system. Its oil production is down to less than a fifth of what it used to be at its height, and it's under a number of sanctions. And even if we were able to get a government that would form out of what's left, unless it gets along very well with the United States probably isn't going to let up its embargo. So any cargo coming in or out of the country is functionally stopped now, either because of the sanctions or because the people who are actually piloting the ships are like, hell no, I'm not going there. Which means that we should have famine conditions restart in Venezuela in just a few weeks, maybe as little as a month. There is an opposition in Venezuela, but it's a lot like the Democrats in the United States in that they can't agree on anything and have not been in power for a while and can't really function. So there are very few ways forward where this looks good for anyone that cares about Venezuela at all. Option number one is the United States puts 100,000 troops in the area that is, on scale with the height of what we did in Iraq or Afghanistan, and tries to forcibly restructure the country so it can stand on its own. That is a minimum 20-year effort. That is a minimum $200 billion of investment just to get the oil sector up and running. And if you want to make the place self-sufficient in food, more and more time. It'd be a colossal effort. Venezuela is one of those countries that I pointed out years ago in my last book, End of the World's Just Beginning. It's a dead state now. This is one of the places that just civilization is going to disintegrate. That has now been pushed forward. The United States is not going to put that kind of force in, or if it did, something to keep in mind is that there's a line of coastal mountains between Caracas, the capital, and the coast. I mean, if you look at the map, it looks like it's right there, but it's blocked by mountains, and you have to go through 2 tunnels that are a couple miles long. And it would be the perfect situation for a guerrilla resistance force. So actually occupying and restructuring Venezuela would be an order of magnitude more difficult than what the United States attempted to do and failed to do in a place like Iraq. So most likely we are at the start of a long descending spiral into chaos, starvation, famine, civil war, and mass outmigration as the people really don't have much choice. I would love to be wrong on this one, but Venezuela has been on a slow downward slouch ever since Chavez came into power in the late 1990s, and now we really are at the beginning of the end.